I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks.
You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is risk. It takes courage to pursue your dream.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is a very uncomfortable feeling.
God wants you to be excited about your destiny so that you can endure the process that brings you into promise. Because there is a process before promise. And if you don't have at least a vision of the promise, the process will discourage you. But every time discouragement is trying to get you to give up the process, remember the vision you have of the promise and keep on walking around the wall. Keep on walking around. I'm tired, Lord, but I'm gonna walk around this wall. I'm frustrated, Lord, but I'm gonna walk around this wall. I'm lonely, Lord, but I'm gonna walk around this wall. Thought I'd be married by now, but I'm gonna walk around this wall. Credit's all jacked, Lord, but I'm gonna walk around this wall. I'm trusting you when I can't trace you. I'm gonna walk around this wall. And Lord, I am crazy enough to stand in front of a solid wall and shout as if it had already come down. Let's try that one time. Let's shout as if the walls had already come down.
Life's gonna give you ultimately what you'll fight for. Stop allowing God to bless you and give you all this giftedness and opportunity and settle and tolerate less. Don't tolerate it anymore. Yeah, you gotta give it your best, but it starts making a decision that this is over. I don't tolerate this life anymore. Pretty good's not good enough for my family. Pretty good's not good enough for my grandmother. Pretty good's not good enough for my grandpa, my parents, my future children. Pretty good ain't gonna get it done for this family.
Some of you have money. Some of you have patience. Some of you have kindness. Some of you have love. Some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have?
At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
A wise man once told me, you gotta be willing to do the things today that others won't do in order to have things tomorrow others won't have. I'll tell you this, you can't make excuses and money at the same time. Stop making excuses, start doing what you gotta do to make it happen. When you're sitting at your cubicle, when you're lining up for class, getting ready to go through the school day, or whether you're getting ready to take those kids out and get them going for their day as well. One thing I want you to make sure you remember is don't quit. No matter how it goes for the day, no matter what you go through, make sure you don't quit. Because every day, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road that you're trudging seems all uphill, when cares are pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. Many a failure turned about, though he might have won had he stuck it out. So don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You might succeed with just another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tints of the cloud of doubt. You never know how close you are. You might be near, but you seem so far. So stick to the fight when you hardest hit. It's when things go wrong, you must not quit.
Are you really being effective, or is your life cluttered with all kinds of stuff that demands you and drains you and taxes you and stops you from being your highest and best self? And are you substituting busyness and all the chaos that goes along with busyness from being effective? 80% of the things we do are busy things that we do in an area that is not effective, that the average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really gifted at, created at, excited to do, and the rest of it is all the dismal, dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Just crazy stuff that we're doing. Wonder what would happen if we would go from doing 80% of things that are busy but not effective and 20% of the things that are really effective if we would switch those numbers around and only give 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do.
Make your move before you're ready. We're instructed in life to walk by faith and not by sight. See, if you want to become a risk taker, you want to raise the bar on yourself. Most people won't do that. See, most people engage in low life living, low risk living. If you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? Don't allow fear of failure and the allure, the attractiveness of playing it safe in life to draw you in. You can't get out of life alive. You got to die to leave here.
You were meant to be creative. It takes time to be creative. We do everything except the most important thing is to value our time. If you had time, you would be creative. But in the absence of time and with busyness and clutter and the phone going beep, beep, beep. You all got music playing on your phone, all kinds of stuff. And no matter what kind of song you put on it, after a while you hate to hear it, because every time you hear that sound, you know it's somebody else wanting something else from you that's taking you away from what you are gifted and creative to do.
Risk used to drive me right up the wall. I used to say, what if this happens? It's called the language of the poor. And I'll tell you what changed my whole life when I finally discovered it's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. The Englishman says, well, if that's the way it's going to work out, let's give it a go. Right, that's what it's for. Give it a go. Better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years safe in the corner.
If you're going to be a risk taker, this is so important that you get, I don't care how old you are or how young you are, catch this right now. If you're going to be a risk taker, learn right now how to fail forward. It's just simple. I can't tell you how many people I meet and I encounter who live life with this fear of failure. You know what I've learned? I've learned that failing's not that bad. In fact, I've discovered that if I'm not failing, I'm probably not succeeding. Because as I look back at my life, every bit of success, any victory I've ever seen is always laid upon mounds and mounds of failures before it. But if you don't ever put yourself out there to fail, then you're never actually going to get out there to succeed. Life, man, it's about failure at times. And we have to become okay with failing and getting back up. When I fall down, I'm not going to let it push me back. I'm going to let it push me forward. I'm just one step closer to the promise that God has for my life.
Don't let your past affect your present. Wash your past off of you so that it doesn't pollute your present. You'd be surprised at the people who have ruined where they are with where they came from. And you're not ready for what God is about to give you now because you're still polluted with what you went through then. You'd be surprised at the people who are married to 2 or 3 people, not legally, but mentally and emotionally. You have walked up on this new man with 2 layers of other men still clinging onto your face, and you're ruining your present because your past is still active in your life. Wash it off you. You can't go forward until you wash the past off you. I don't care how long it takes, you cannot go forward until you wash your face. You're not ready for Boaz until you wash your face. You got too much stuff on you from yesterday. You must wash your face. Clinging issues from the past, residue that we can readily detect. I shouldn't be able to look at you and see your past on your face.
See, we live in a world where we're told more about our limitations rather than our potential. So you have to watch who's speaking into you. You've got to begin to monitor your mind. And you've got to begin to literally be proactive in programming yourself to success. Be ye not conformed to this world. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You've got to take responsibility to make that happen. And as you begin to do that, you'll begin to see some incredible changes in your life. I understand now when Earl Nightingale said, all of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. See, most people stop short of their dreams and park and get off the highway of life because of the rejections of life. You will always be rejected. It's no big deal. Jack Canfield said rejection is a myth. It's not like when somebody says no and then they slap you. No, it's just, to me, make no your vitamin. Get excited about the no. Why? Because every time someone says no, that brings you another step to a yes. You're getting closer. Trust me, you will win if you don't quit.